Hey y'all, hey. I hope that y'all are ready for this amazing week. I hope you had a great Monday. Drop in the comments how you're feeling today. If you're married and you're happy, drop down in the comments that I'm happily married. If you ain't feeling your boo right now, drop down I ain't feeling him right now. Because sometimes, truth be told, we feel like that sometimes, okay? Especially when you've been married for a good little minute. So if you are just tuning in to me, or if you have not been in this space, I am Nika Arnold Scott, and welcome to the Wifey Rehab. What is the Wifey Rehab, Nika? So the Wifey Rehab is basically a space where I empower wives, reviving, and to rekindle that love flame back into their marriage. That is what the Wifey Rehab is all about. So wherever you find yourself in your marriage, whether you are happily married, whether you don't know how you feel about him right now, or whether you're contemplating getting married, I believe that the more information that you know, the better experience you'll have. And that's just with anything. So if you are married, drop it down in the comments. Like, I want to hear from you. Tonight we're going to be talking about in-laws. How is your relationship with your in-laws? I want this to be interactive tonight, you guys. I know I'm always talking. I'm always giving you guys some information, some insight. I have been interviewing wives for the last couple of weeks, and it has really been interesting. My in-laws have been married like 40 plus years. So if you've been married any amount of time, you already know that you don't just marry him, but you marry his entire family. So during my interview process with these women, these married women actually, I've been asking this one question along with other questions, but I think that this one is, so fun to ask. And I always ask, what is one thing you wish you knew before walking down the aisle? So I want y'all to be interactive with me tonight. I want to talk to you. I want you to talk to me. That's what this is about. So I want to know what's one thing that you wish you knew before you got married. Just one thing. It doesn't have to be, all long and, drawn out or anything like that. But I just want to know, what is one thing you wish you knew before walking down the aisle? This should be very interesting, because just asking these women this question and getting all of the different responses that I've gotten has been so enlightening, has been so amazing. But I want to know, what's one thing you wish you knew before walking down the aisle? I'll tell you why I'm waiting on you guys to chime in. At any time, you can just drop it down in the box. One thing I wish I knew before I got married was that things change. Things change. And I know that's so simple, but I change. He's changing. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, we don't change at the same time, and that is okay. I think sometimes we feel like if they change or if we change, like something is wrong. But if nothing changes. So if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you don't change and evolve and become a better you, and if he doesn't change and evolve and become a better him, it's like, where's the excitement? Like, what's the fun in that? So I want to know, what's one thing you wish you knew before walking down the aisle? And I'll share with you one of the things that one of the ladies told me was that she said she wished that she had initiated and nurtured a better relationship with her in-laws. That blew my mind. I was like, really? She said, I wish that I was more intentional about building a relationship with my in-laws. That was the one thing that hey, Ladina, that was one thing that she wished she knew before walking down the aisle. So I'm going to ask you, what is one thing that you wish you knew before walking down the aisle? And sometimes we don't think about, like, oh man, I wish I knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're cheated on, or if we're, talk too crazy, or anything like that. It's like, man, I wish I knew this before I got married. Like, those are kind of those things that kind of always show the signs. But I want to know, what's one thing you wish you knew before walking down the aisle? And mine is things change. And it's okay. Like, we're growing older, and, we're having some different experiences. So things are not always the same. You know what I'm saying? Your sex appetite change. when you're married. It's just one of those things that happens. So getting back to the lady that told me, I wish I have known about generational curses. Woo, child. That one right there is a hot one. That's a hot one right there, Rotunda. But that's real though. But the thing about it is, she said that she wished that she pursued a relationship with her in-laws. And I was like, man, I couldn't relate to that because my in-laws are amazing. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that I was, gifted with some great, great in-laws. But my husband is an only child too. So that part I couldn't relate to. But I was like, man, how many other people wish that they could have a better relationship with their in-laws. Okay, Tim, I will. With their in-laws. And I was just like, wow, because we don't think about we're marrying the whole family, right? And so I just think that is a great point to bring up because your children are affected by those relationships. You and your husband's relationship will become and straining when you're trying to navigate through those things. Ooh, you can't always say you want out when you upset. Okay, is that, ooh, child, I fainted, child. Because let me tell you, that was me. That was me like, okay, clearly this isn't working, And I wish I knew walking down the aisle, it was that like, hey, no, you're mad, go to your corner. He's going to go to his corner, like, in a boxing rink. Like, you go to your corner, I'm going to go to my corner, and then we're going to come back in the middle. We're going to try to work this thing out, right? But these are things that we wish we knew while walking down the aisle. You know what I'm saying? And so these are things that we don't think about beforehand. Like, do you like his family? Do you all get along? Are there other children involved? Do you want to have children? Or does he have children and you have children? Talking about a blended family. How do you do that? How do you parent? How do you discipline? These are things that we just do not think about before walking down the aisle because we want the glitz and the glam and the dresses and the pictures and the ring and all of that stuff. Yeah, my in-laws, yes, honey. Woo, I love my in-laws. But we want all of this stuff. We think more about the wedding than we do the marriage. So we don't think about things that we need to know. Like, what is this joker's credit score? What's your credit score? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you guys want to purchase a home? Do you want to travel? All of these things we don't think about before walking down the aisle, before joining our lives together, before becoming one. So I am so thankful for these married women that I have been interviewing over the last couple of weeks that has really shed some light on some things in my life and really inspired me because, as I said, you guys, I don't just want to bring you things that have been Nika's experience. I want to bring you things that are real women other than myself that are experiencing being married for 10, 15, 20, 21, 31 years. You know what I'm saying? 40 years. There's some stuff in there. There's some gems in there that we can learn. See, that's the thing too. We don't talk. We don't communicate. We don't share. Even if your marriage is in a bad place. One of the ladies told me that because I asked how, if your marriage has suffered a hit, how have you been able to rebuild? And her answer was seeking women that are married, that have healthy marriages, whether it's healthy now and it wasn't before, but for guidance. Because sometimes, y'all, we have to get talked through some things, right? Because as Ladina said, that when you get upset, like, you want to go. Like, I'm packing my whole bag. Like, I'm getting the kids, I'm gassing up the car, and we out, okay? But you can't do that. So these are things that we should know and talk about before walking down the aisle. And you should have your safe person to talk to. First of all, that is where you desire to be. That's happily married. That's loving on their husband, that's serving their husband, that has a good balance. You know what I'm saying? That's not all fake and phony for, posting or whatever the case may be, but they're not living that life for real. I'm talking about somebody that has some genuine experiences and that can tell you, baby, it's going to get easier. Like, baby, yeah, you're going to have to grind. Yeah, you're going to have to work. You know what I'm saying? But they can coach you through it. See, we don't talk to people like we should. And I'm not saying you have to disclose all your business, but sometimes we need that extra wisdom. Sometimes we need that extra, to help us through some things that are going on that we don't know how to navigate. And you're not going to know how to navigate everything. But before walking down that aisle, I think that there are some major things that we should list that we want to know, that we need to know, that we need to have in place, just some discussions beyond, oh, he fine, and, I want to be Mrs. Such and Such. Or, we've been dating for 5 years. Now it's time to just move on to the next stage, which is marriage, or we already have a kid, so we may as well go on and get married, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Like, no, there are some fundamental things that we need to know before walking down the aisle. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes those things that we didn't ask or address, like, they show up. Like, they may show up on year 5 or year 7, and you like, dang, where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? And you don't know how to navigate through it. Because I tell you, like, marriage is the realest work you will ever do. Like, I don't care what your craft is. I don't care what your gift is, sis. Okay? When you walk down that aisle, baby, and you say yes to that man and everything that he carries, baby, you better be ready to be suited and booted and work. I'm talking about through a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And not packing your bag and your purse and like, I'm out. I'm going to see you on the flip side. You know what I mean? But things that you wish you knew before walking down the aisle, that's what I want to know. Tell me some things that you wish you knew before walking down the aisle. Like, it's some people on this live right now. Don't just be watching, like, because what you say can help somebody. And that's what this is. It's like, listen, girl, I wish I knew that sometimes I just don't want to have sex. I just don't. Okay? I wish I knew it was okay to say, babe, you know what? Tonight, babe, is not a good night. I'm just saying, or I wish I knew that, you know what, you have to always say yes, even if you're not in the mood. You know what I mean? Like, really? Or I wish I knew that, you know what, one day, all that nice hair, all them long dreads, because my husband had some dreads, baby, whoop! You know what I'm saying? I didn't know one day, I didn't think about one day that he would be bald like he is now. And I'm like, okay, that's different. Or that his hair would gray. And I know that these are things that we know, okay, nigga, you get older, that's what happens. But it's like, dang, when it really starts happening, you're like, oh, okay. I wish I knew that we would have to fall in love again, right? I wish I knew that at some point we would have to start over in our love, in our relationship. I wish I knew that. Man, I wish I knew that sometimes I'm not going to like this guy. I wish I knew sometimes he's going to push me and stretch me in a place, that I've never been stretched before. Ooh, yes. She said, I wish I knew that my husband didn't like to talk. See what I'm saying? Like, these are things because y'all know we get so caught up in the wedding vibe. We get so caught on being Mrs. Such and Such. I said yes, doing all of these things. But man, let me tell you, like, marriage is work, dude. And if you not ready to work, if you not serious about this thing, like, if he's not that dude, like, it's got to be more than love, y'all. Like, love is not going to sustain your marriage. Let's be clear. Love will not sustain it. If love is all you feel like you have, or you're marrying this dude because you love this dude, baby, you're in for a rude awakening. You got to have more than love. You got to have stamina. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have stamina to be a wife. You got to have stamina. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that bounce back power to be a wife. You understand what I'm saying? To be a wife, you got to be willing to serve. To be a wife, you got to be willing to be vulnerable. To be a wife, you got to be ready. Because this is not a game. This is a forever. This is not a right now. So love, you marrying for love alone, you're going to struggle, sis. Like, you got to marry because you looking at this dude like, yo, I could build with him. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he's going to take care of me. You know what I'm saying? If something pops off, I know he got me. You know what I mean? And these are things that I wish I knew before walking down the aisle. But this is stuff that we don't talk about. Because everybody wants the glitz and the glam about, marriage and all of that. But man, this is work. It's work. You're going to lose friends. Hell, you might lose family members too. And that's just real. So that's what the wifey rehab is. I'm here to let you know the real. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to let you know the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the benefits in between. You feel me? So listen, this is the most beautiful work that I have ever had to do. And it has taught me how strong I am for real. Like, you think as a woman to give birth to a child is like the epitome of strength? No, like walking beside somebody that you cannot control, that you did not raise, you feel me? That you cannot punish by just saying, no, you're not going to get da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, go stand on the wall. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, like this is somebody that you have to compromise with, that you have to bend with. I tell my wives, like, you have to be like a palm tree, man. You have to bend sometimes, but you can't break. And these are things that I wish I knew before walking down the aisle. That love will not sustain. I love this dude, but living with him is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, raising a blended family is hard, dude. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, I know this dude got me. You know what I'm saying? Before walking down the aisle, I wish I knew who I had to become in my marriage. Like, I wish I knew that. You know what I'm saying? I wish I knew that, you can't be no independent woman in a marriage, girl. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So I wish I knew that before walking down the aisle. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I knew that. You know what, Nika? No matter how things change, sis, no matter, how hard it gets. Hey, so, no matter how hard it gets, guess what? It's going to be beautiful again. Like, no matter how dirty it gets, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be beautiful again. I wish I knew that going down the aisle, because I would have been more encouraged and not just emotional. Because, see, planning the wedding and going through all that, that's emotion. But what happens when that dies? What happens when you're no longer excited? What happens when it's 10 years later, 5 years later, and you waking up to the same dude? Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? He does the same stuff. That stuff that used to be cute pisses you off now. You know what I mean? So I wish I knew this before walking down the aisle. That it's not going to be pretty all the time. That he's not going to agree with everything you say, Nika. That he's going to push you to become your greatest self, even when you don't want to be pushed. He going to tell you the ugly truth, even when you want him to lie. And that's what it is, y'all. But that's what the wifey rehab is about. Like, I'm here to let you know, sis, yes, it's going to be beautiful. Yes, it's going to be all that you create it to be. Note, everything that you create it to be, because your marriage will only be what you create it to be. So before you walk down the aisle, that's what I want you to know. Your marriage will be exactly what you say it is, what you say it will be, and what you create. Anything outside of that, it'll be what you create. So before you walk down the aisle, if you have already walked down the aisle and it's like, man, dang, like, I don't know what it is. Like, we lost the love. That's why your marriage shouldn't be built on love. Your marriage should be built on your commitment to work together, to build together. Because you're going to love him now and you're going to have a season where you don't. Like, that's just real. If you've been married for any amount of time, you know that there are stages and phases in your marriage. And that's going to be it. Because what's hot to you right now in your marriage may not be hot in 5 years. So y'all can continue to drop one thing you wish you knew before walking down the aisle right here. Again, to my wives that have taken time to talk to me, sisters, I appreciate you because you are definitely making me a better me. You're making me a better wife. You're making me a better creator. You're making me a better coach. So I thank you so much. Thank you to y'all that's always coming in, that's sharing. Listen, I don't take it lightly. I hope that something I say on these lives, on the replay, however you hear this on YouTube, whatever, it is my sincere hope that it equips you and empowers you to do the work that's necessary to make your marriage a happy, healthy, thriving marriage. Whatever that is for the two of you. That is my hope for the Wifey Rehab. That is my hope for women that are, seeking husbands, that want to be married, or whatever the case may be. Sis, it's my sincere hope that you continue to do the work on you, because he's going to show up. But you have to be prepared, because you have to be willing to give of yourself, but not give up yourself. You have to be willing to give of yourself, but not give up yourself. So I hope that this has helped you guys tonight. Give me some feedback. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear, that what I'm saying is resonating with you, that what I'm saying is empowering you and equipping you to be a better woman, to be a better wife. I love you guys to pieces so much. I have a free download for you guys on my website. It's absolutely free. It's just some stuff that I like to give out to you. It's some worksheets. You can go cop that, nikascott.com. I'll put the link right here and it'll take you right to that. You can download it, the action sheets, all of that good stuff. If y'all are interested in me actually doing a live where I'm walking you through that, I would love to do that as well. But I don't want to put out stuff that you guys don't want, or talk about things that you guys are not interested in hearing. So please give me your feedback. If you don't want to drop it here, you can always inbox me. Most of the ladies inbox me, and that's fine. So I love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you guys again. Hey, y'all know how we do this thing. Next Monday night at 8:05. Bring a friend. You know what I'm saying? Bring a friend that you know is married. Y'all come on to this Face Live Wifey Rehab party and everything. I got some special stuff going on for y'all. So if y'all are in Atlanta, let me know that too, because I got some stuff coming up that's gonna blow your mind. Mine is blown. I'll see y'all next week. Peace and love.